Welcome to Voices of Leadership. I'm Chris Atwell, and in each episode, I sit down with the leaders shaping the future of the manufacturer's rep industry. Real stories, real challenges, real growth. This is where leadership comes to life. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. I know it's going to be a jam-packed couple of days, and it means a lot that you join me. I look forward to learning even more about your leadership journey, your growth, and really the impact that you're having with your agency as it grows. All right. So we'll dive into it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Awesome. So the goal is simple. I just want to highlight leaders like yourself in the industry and share the moments, the lessons, the mindsets that have shaped who you are today. Okay?
Sure.
Perfect. So question number one. When you think about your leadership journey, right, what's that one defining moment that really shaped who you are today?
You know, when I started out in my family business, we were 4 people, right? And we had a chance to grow from, 3 or 4 people into mid-30s after 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, right? And so that opportunity and that chance to take that and to go gave me the ability to put myself into a leadership role, which I always felt comfortable in, to be able to take a small business and people and grow on it. But you need opportunities for that to happen. And in our business, it's very unique. They come and they come fast.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have the luxury of thinking it through for 3 to 6 months to make a decision. And so I would tell you, for the opportunity when we expanded in Chicago, and then we had merged our business in Wisconsin, and we went from, like I said, 4 or 5 people to high 30s, 40 employee company in a very quick period of time. Was exciting. It was stressful, but what was most exciting about it was now getting the opportunity to show these associates and give them the opportunity to grow. So I would say, that decision helped me get to where we are today. And I'm excited. I've always been excited about that, but what's really led the excitement is being able to build up on our associates and try to build them into leaders into our company. So, so a decision that ultimately gave me a bigger platform to do what I'm doing.
I love it. You're younger. You saw that leadership was something that made you comfortable already thinking about, and the opportunity came up. You jumped both feet, and here you are today. Yeah. Awesome.
Still dealing with challenges every day.
Of course, and challenges. Those define us in many ways, and oftentimes leaders have to face really, really, really tough moments. All right. What would you consider the toughest moment you've had to face in your leadership, and how did you overcome it?
No doubt COVID. There was no doubt, right? Because there was no playbook for that. The playbook, which has gotten me to where I am today and build a lot of things, has been common sense, right? And doing the right thing, and doing the right thing for our people was really important. And I would say that period of time was extremely challenging. Again, there wasn't a playbook. The playbook was common sense. Take care of the customers, get a consistent message, stay the course, and stay positive in what was, I don't think I have to tell you guys either, it was an extremely challenging time for a lot of people. But I would say as a small business owner, that was by far the most challenging time that we had. And so I'd say that period of a 4-year window of time, COVID, there were some big line transitions that we made, that there was no playbook for it, except the playbook was just hard work, be extremely transparent, and give people the opportunity to continue to grow. And I let common sense kind of lead me through a lot of that, and it worked out. That was a tough time.
Yeah, that's a great example. And you use the term common sense, but it sounds like, because you said you got to take care of your people, that you didn't only just lead with sense, but you led from the heart as well.
Empathetic, right? It's all about your people. We say it all the time. We talk about family first in about every meeting, and that does mean a lot to me. And work-life balance, so that's loosely thrown out there. It was important, but our business changed and evolved in that time period, and I think it was for the better of some of our associates, and we had to learn to adapt because again, some of this stuff we'd never seen before. Work from home, there was a lot going on.
A lot of adjustments. Yeah.
They put systems in place for us. There's always a silver lining for everything.
Yeah.
And that silver lining for COVID was putting all the process that we put in place, the CRMs that we put in place, the clouds that we put in place. So a lot of that was really good.
Yeah.
But it was also very stressful and challenging, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. There's a lot that you've learned along the way, right? Especially during those times, and it's been a few years since then. What would you say the most important habits or mindset or even routines you apply every day that would allow you to show up as a leader?
Transparency, empathy, right? Consistency, and all the things you hear a lot of companies talk about. Communication. And, those are all legit challenges for any company.
Yeah.
And consistency. Go ahead.
So how do you make it a habit to make sure that communication is consistent?
Still to this day, probably the biggest challenge for us, because you got to remember, we're dealing with internal communication within our company, but then we have companies that have other forms of communication, and which may not be as good. So we could be doing best in class at HSA. Manufacturer X could be one of the worst.
Yeah.
So I've always said you just got to be consistent with that communication.
Yeah.
And consistent with communication means not only just a cadence of like meetings, but good or bad on the communication front, you have to have it. And we learned that, and I've talked about that with our team all the time. We went through some very challenging times during COVID, and it was like what we learned through all that with communication. It's a broadly used word, but don't let something sit, right? Good or bad, have the communication.
Yeah.
Good or bad with our manufacturer, have the communication with our customer, because the customer is ultimately what matters. And think about ourselves and put ourselves in those seats every once in a while. And it's all been about consistent communication. And it's not about cadence of meetings. It's about good or bad, making sure that the customer is not sitting there, waiting for an answer. It may be the wrong answer. It may not be what they want to hear, but it's communication. So
yeah,
consistency, I guess, is something I learned through probably the same period of time of, the COVID challenges, the supply chain issues, and all that kind of fun stuff. But I learned a lot about transparency with communication, not only with our customers, our manufacturers, but our associates.
Nice. So it's not only a habit for you, but it's a value that you live, eat, and breathe through the company at the same time. Yeah.
Every day, every situation, I can almost go back to it, because we're going to live it all the time. There's always something that didn't ship. There's always something that didn't roll out right.
Yeah.
And I've just always stressed consistency with communications, have each other's back. And if we do that, we'll pull through any of this, because our customers are appreciative of it. They're dealing with some of the same issues. And so I think the consistency word is something I keep talking about over and over again, because it's important.
So if there was a new leader that you're mentoring, okay, or a new leader in the space that came up to you and asked you for advice, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, again, you need to be transparent. You need to be empathetic. You need to be able to listen. You also need to be able to listen and then take actions from that. I think people don't, they don't enjoy it when they're talking to you and there's no actions that come after that. And then I think, like you said, just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Right. And exposing yourself. So sometimes exposing yourself is very uncomfortable, but they're uncomfortable as well. So it shows that you're out there, you're committed. But you got to be empathetic. You got to take care of your people, because it is important. And I've learned that, but that's something I didn't have to really learn. It's something that was embedded in me all along.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do. And sometimes business isn't all that difficult. It just gets a little more difficult sometimes. But I'm big on what I just said: empathy, transparency, consistency, and putting yourself out there so they can see that you may not be. They can see when I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, for sure.
They can totally see it. They can feel it. And that's okay.
Yeah. That's how you grow. That's how you grow. you're at this stage in your leadership right now where you've had this tremendous growth, not only in business, but as an individual. What are you most excited about that's just around the corner for you? And what does the next version of leadership for Joe look like to you?
Yeah. So everyone talks about change, and we still certainly got a lot of change, and we're going to have more change coming within the ownership in our company, which is exciting for me. So I'll be taking over as sole owner of the company.
Amazing.
And
Congratulations.
So what I'm excited about that is it's going to allow me to sit into ultimately a different role of a CEO, president, if you will. But what the meeting I just had on Friday with some of our new team leads was really setting the table, if you will, for how that looks differently within the organization. And so giving these guys, Brian, and Nick, and Jimmy, and Derek, and giving these guys this platform to let them go, to let them go. And while I get to kind of, set the vision and set, some of the expectations, that's really what gets me excited now, is because I think we have a good plan. But now it's giving some of these other people the opportunity, which I've always said was something very important to me. From when I hired people, I'd always say, I'm going to give you the opportunity to put yourself out there, build my brand, build your brand, and hopefully you're here for the next 20, 30 years. But I'll never put you in a corner. So I'm excited for those associates and to go build HSA and maybe take it to a different level. That excites me.
Yeah. And then because of this, it's allowing you to step into a new version of yourself. And what does that version look like? If you had to summarize it, what's that new version look like?
Yeah, I've always liked our business. Reps big and small. I think the biggest challenge is the organizational structure within a rep agency. I think can be a challenge. So I've always liked the structure of our company.
Yeah.
Prior to, and now to even have a role where it's just about the vision of where we are going to go. Here's the ideas, here's the thoughts. And by the way, here you go.
Yeah.
You go execute. I love the entrepreneurial spirit of our business. And so I always talk about that. So if I can get that ingrained in all of our associates' heads, that means a lot to me, because that's the power, right?
Yeah.
The entrepreneurial spirit of taking care of the customer, taking some chances, knowing that I'm going to have their back if something doesn't work. But in terms of the next stage of life for me, it's all about, setting, so again, I'll be 48. And so, how do I set up the succession plan so the business can evolve, if I'm not around? And that's a challenge. And I think that's a challenge for any rep agency. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Excited for the people that we have to build that with. So that gets me excited to see where it's kind of going within the next year, 2 to 3 years.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful. Well, Joe, thank you so much for sharing your journey. There's been a tremendous amount of growth. I love witnessing you, and I appreciate you coming on this platform to share, because it's going to allow a lot of other leaders to learn, to grow, and to lead with purpose. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Chris, I want to say as well, thank you for having me. It's been great getting to know you. I think you're doing some really great things for a lot of rep agencies, and it's important. Yeah. It's really important for a lot of these firms to understand they have to continue to invest in people like yourself to help build out process and help build out the stuff that is important in the growth of the business. So likewise, man, it's been really great getting to know you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Cheers, man.